Okay, I think we're ready to go. So, welcome to She Thrives Women's Health and Energy and Life Integration. It's a mouthful, but I think you guys are going to enjoy this one really much. Before we start, we are going to do something a little different. This time, I want you to take one breath, not a deep, performative breath, just a real one. Notice where your shoulders are, notice your jaw. I want you to notice what you're holding right now. What is your mind spinning on right now? I don't want you to analyze it. I want you to place one hand in your sternum, right in the center of your chest. And I want you to ask yourself one question. How were you? Really? And not how are you like a greeting, but how are you really? How are you doing? And notice what comes up. You don't have to share anything. Just notice it. Wherever it came up for you just now, that is exactly why this session matters. So let's get to it. This week, you walk past something. 5 pieces of information about your health. Your heart, your hormones, your nervous system, what you eat, what to screen for. And maybe you stopped and you read every word, and maybe you glanced at it once and cut something, and maybe something is still sitting with you. Either way, something was planned on purpose, and today is where we go a little deeper. Because there is a difference between knowing about your health and actually knowing yourself, between reading a list of symptoms and recognizing your own body in them, between information and transformation. What you saw this week was the map, and today we walk into the territory. So I hope you're ready. I want to tell you about a woman I know. She shows up every day. She hit her deadline. She smiled in the meetings. She was the one everyone called when they needed something done because she always came through. And if you ask her how she was doing, she always said the same thing. I'm fine. But there was some truth underneath. She didn't sleep deeply in months. Her period had been irregular for over a year, and she chalked it up to being stressed. She was forgetting words mid-sentence. She reached for a name or a concept, and it would just disappear. She stopped doing the things she loved because she simply didn't have the energy. She didn't tell anyone, not her doctor, not her partner, not even herself, because she didn't want to be seen as weak. But that woman was not weak. She was in biological crisis. Her body had been sending signals for over a year, and she was too well trained in pushing through to hear them. Does she sound familiar? Well, in today's journey, we're going to explore your health and your well-being. We're going to look at your biology. Your body has been a constant ally, responding to your needs and communicating with you. Understanding this relationship is essential for nurturing your overall health and wellness. And we're going to identify your burnout pattern. Recognizing the feminine pattern of burnout is crucial. Women often experience unique stressors that can lead to depletion, making it vital to address these issues for lasting health. Here's what I want you to understand. When you chronically override body signals through businesses, through powering through the deep belief that our needs are inconvenient, something happens in the nervous system. The connection between the body and the brain actually weakens. There is a concept called interoception, your brain's ability to read what's happening inside your body. It's how you know you are hungry before your stomach growls, how you know something is wrong before you can name it. Research shows that interactive accuracy predicts emotional regulation, decision making quality, and resilience. Am I still muted? Muted? No, right? You can hear me, right? Okay, cool. I want to share something that was never in any health class, any corporate wellness program, any productivity book I have ever seen. And it's this: your body does not run on a 24-hour clock. Men's body run on a 24-hour circadian rhythm. That's what most health research is based on, because until very recently, most medical studies excluded women. Women's body have an additional biological cycle, the infradian rhythm, roughly a 20-day cycle that governs not just your period, but your energy, your creativity, your metabolism, your immune function, your emotional processing, and your cognitive strengths. When you know this rhythm, when you stop fighting it and start reading it, you stop experiencing your body as unpredictable. You start understanding it as intelligence. Now, I know not everybody is in this room is cycling the same way. If you are postmenopausal on a hormonal birth control, living with PCOS, or in a premenopause, the rhythm might not be perfect 28 days, and that's okay. The principle, it still remains. Your body moves in a season, not in a flat line. And learning to read the seasons changes everything. So we're going to go through them together. The first one is the follicular phase, and it's measured from the first day of bleeding. It starts, we call it our inner spring, and it's days 1 to the 13. Estrogen rising, brain generating new ideas and connections, energy building, is best for starting projects, learning new skills, bold decisions, brainstorming, metabolism lowers. Light foods feel right at this point. Then we move to ovulatory, which is around day 14 with your menstrual cycle. And this one we call it the inner summer. And it lasts only day 14 to 16. Your estrogen peaks, virtual fluency, social connections, and magnetism are their highest. Best for presentations, difficult conversations, high stake meetings, and leading and collaborating. Then we move to our luteal, and it's around day 17, more or less. And we call this our inner atom. It's day 17 to the 18. Progesterone, you can't see it? Does is anyone seeing the?
I can see it.
You can see it? Okay. All right, cool. I don't know why you can't see it right now. Maybe it's hiding in another one of your screens. Okay. Okay. Where were we? Okay. So in our atom, so it's best for editing, evaluating, completing something. In the final days, what wasn't working becomes very, very clear. So you should listen to what your body's telling you. And then we go into our winter, which is day 1 and 5, which is when we actually menstruate. And both hormones drop, right and left brain communicate peaks. This is your window for deep insight, reflection, and clarity, not a breakdown. Your body building reset. So rest, give yourself your fuel to initiate the whole entire cycle all over again. So this phase is really important for resting. Okay, here's where stress becomes especially for women's health an issue. And not just because the stress is bad. When you're chronically stressed, your body produces cortisol through the adrenal glands. Cortisol is made from a precursor molecule called progesterone. Sorry, the names are just out there. But here's the part that no one tells you. So your sex hormones, your progesterone and estrogen and DHEA, they are also made out of the same raw material, and they compete for that. So when chronic stress is sustained, your body prioritizes cortisol production, and survival becomes first. This is called the progenital steal. Your stress response is literally borrowing the building blocks your body would have used for hormonal balance. The result? Progesterone drops, PMS worsens, sleep becomes lighter, anxiety increases, your cycle might become irregular, your thyroid can be affected. And you're told this is normal for your age, or worse, this is just stress. And it is stress, but it's stress that has gone biochemical, and that changes what recovery looks like. Okay, do you remember the flyers that you guys saw through the emails and yesterday and today? Well, remember the one that talked about stress? The stress, the nervous system, and mental health? That flyer listed the signs of chronic stress in women: fatigue, brain fog, irritability, muscle tension, digestive issues, and irregular cycles. You might have read the list and recognized yourself in some of them, and still not know why the symptoms are clustered together. So I am going to build a bridge for you. The stress flyer this week gave you the sides, the signals, and I'm going to give you the tools. Remember the box breathing, the grounding, the psychological side? Those tools work. Today, I want to tell you why they work neurologically. Because when you understand the mechanism, you actually use the tool instead of just knowing about it. Your body is not overreacting. It's not being dramatic. It's been trying to tell you something important. And the only language it has is symptoms. So let's talk about burned out as its stages. And most women don't recognize themselves until stage 4 or 5. But then recovery is not a weekend, it's a month. And here's what the projection looks like. First stage, compulsion to prove. You work harder than necessary, not because you're lazy when you don't, but because you feel like you have to prove you belong. The need to be irreplaceable drives you. Second phase, working harder. The push becomes a pattern. You start saying yes to everything. Rest starts to feel like a risk. Stage 3, neglecting your needs. The sleep gets negotiated. Meals become functional. The first things cut are the things that actually restore you. Stage 4, displacement of conflicts. You know something is wrong because you can't name it. Irritability, resentment, anxiety. But you tell yourself, it's them, it's the job, it's the season. Stage 5, revision of values. What used to matter doesn't. What used to bring you joy feels flat. You begin to wonder if something fundamental broken in you. And stage 6, total exhaustion. The body stops asking and starts demanding. This is where the illness arrives, the injury, the breakdown, the body that simply refuses to perform another mile. Sound familiar? Here's what's different for women and why it matters most. Most women most women compress stages 3, 4, and 5 and maintain high external performance through burnout. From the outside, nothing looks wrong. She's still delivering, she's still smiling, she's still showing up. But inside, the biological erosion is well underway. The hormones are depleting, the sleep quality is deteriorating, the immune system is straining. And because she looks fine, no one check in. No HR, not her manager, not even her doctor. I call this masked burned out. And this is one of the most dangerous patterns I see in women that are professionals. Not because it's dramatic, but because it's invisible until it isn't. Now, take one slow breath, not for relaxation, but as information. Notice what shift. What you just practice is interoception. This is the skill this entire workshop is building towards. I want to pause here and do something with you right now. In this moment, I want you to notice your body. Is your jaw tight? Are your shoulders towards your ears like this? Are you holding your breath? Is there a low hum in the back of your brain saying, I should be doing something else? If yes to any of those, you're in the political theory calls sympathetic activation, mild fight or flight, and this is normal. Most of us live here most of the day. Now, take one more slow breath. Did anything change for you? Okay, now we're going to do something together. Remember those PDFs I sent on the chat earlier? I'm going to share my screen with you and we're going to do this together. Okay, I want you to find this PDF that I shared with you earlier. Do you remember it? Okay, and I want you to answer all these questions. It's really important. It's going to give you really important information of what's going on in your body that you haven't paid attention yet. So I am going to give you 8 minutes to answer all these questions. If you can't do it in the PDF, you can answer it in a notepad or on your computer. But it's important that you answer the questions and be honest with yourself. This is not a test. There's no right or wrong answer, but it is important that you answer them, okay? So, ready, set, go. All right, 20 seconds. Beautiful. You guys are doing fantastic. Now I'm going to show you why this is so important. Time is up. Okay. Was there anything that surprised you as you were answering these questions? Anything you want to share that you found out? So hopefully you rated your sleep quality, right? So we're considering how you sleep most nights. The quality of sleep is essential for your recovery, for your mood regulation, and overall health. Does anyone want to share a number? It's okay if you don't, but I just want you to keep in mind what we're looking for. Energy sustainability. See, I am not in my best face at the moment. Sleep, what's that? I love that. Reflection on how sustainability your energy levels are across your typical week. Understanding your energy patterns help to identify when you need rest or activity, guiding your choices a little better. Your physical symptoms, identify the physical symptom you have been pushing through lately. Acknowledge the signs you can lead to important insight about your health, helping you to regain balance and care. You know, the nagging headache that you've been putting off and just chugging Tylenol to, that's what I mean. How often do you feel genuinely peace in your daily life? It's essential for mental clarity and overall well-being. Okay. Rate the gap between how you present yourself to the world and how you truly feel. Acknowledge that disparity is crucial for emotional health and self-awareness. And I love this question. Do you feel resentful about your workload, even when you don't articulate it? The silent burden can drain your energy and affect your overall health significantly. You already have the foundation. The screen checklist for your week covers essential and gives you a solid starting place. So today I want to build on that. I want to give you two things the checklist doesn't include: the markers most standard panels miss, and the words you need when your doctor says everything looks normal. And yet, something in you knows that it doesn't feel that way. So let's look at the screens that we need to pay attention depending on what season of our life we're in. So in our 20s, we want to do an annual well women exam. So we're gonna get a pap smear every 3 years, STD screening, blood pressure, cholesterol baseline, mental health screening, and immunizations. When we move into our 30s, we want to do everything we do in our 20s, but we're also gonna add a full tarot panel, so free T3 and T4, not just TSH, blood sugar and A1Cs, vitamin D, ferritin, and BRCA, family history, and fertility hormones if it's relevant to you. And then we're going to move into our 40s. We actually want to add the mammogram every 2 years between ages 40 and 74, colonoscopy discussions, premenopause hormones panels, FSH, estrogen and progesterone, comprehensive cardiac risk, and bone density if there's a risk factor for it. In our 50s and on, we're going to add the annual mammogram, colonoscopy, a DEXA bone density scan, full cardiovascular panel, ophthalmology and hearing every 3 years, and comprehensive thyroid monitoring and annual well exam. Okay. Now, if your doctor runs a standard blood work, ask especially about these: free T3 and free T4, not just DHA, the full thyroid picture. Cortisol, morning level, ideally a 4-point saliva test for full picture. Ferritin, not just hemoglobin. Ferritin is real, I'm sorry, not just your hemoglobin. Ferritin is the real iron story, so we want to know how that's doing. 25 OH, vitamin D. Most women are deficient in it, so it's really important to check it. Your HSCRP, high sensitive C-reactive protein, is an inflammation marker, and it's really good to know about that one. Your fasting insulin, not just how much sugar is in your blood. Sex hormone binding globulin, so that's called SHBG. It affects how available your hormones actually are. And I want you to remember, you're allowed to ask for this. You're allowed to say, I want a comprehensive panel. You are your best advocate for your own health, and knowing these things can prevent higher risk in the future for you. So it's not an interruption of your life. It's an investment in the future version of yourself. We have been told that the goal is balance, equal weight on every side, maintain even Then definitely, but that's not biology. That's not even possible. Your energy is not meant to be flat. It's meant to move in cycles. And the goal isn't balance, it's integration. Life integration means organizing your life in ways that work with your biological season, not against them. It means scheduling creativity work during your follicle phase, protecting sleep during your luteal phase, scheduling difficult conversations during ovulation when your verbal capacity is the highest. Obviously, I'm not ovulating, as you could tell from my speech today. Giving yourself permission to do less during your menstrual phase, and trusting that the insight you there gain there is worth the output you didn't produce. Most productivity systems are about energy management. Do more with less. I want to offer you a different frame. Energy banking. What deposits into your nervous system account? What withdrawals? Burnout is not about being weak. It's about chronic withdrawal without deposit. Deposits mean deep sleep, movement aligned with your phase, foods that fuel your specific hormone needs, connection that doesn't require performance, time in silence, nature, creativity expression, saying no. Withdrawals, chronic cortisol, chronic social performance, ignoring body signals, fragmented sleep, perfectionism, unprocessed emotions. The question is not, how do I do more? The question is, what is actually in my account? I'm going to give you one practice, not five, one, because one practice does consistently changes neurology. Five practices abandoned by Tuesday changes nothing. So in your chat, you have a PDF that has 4 questions. How's your body right now? And when you answer them, I want you to think about this. The physical signals. I'm carrying pain, tension, fatigue, lightness, hunger, depletion, energy. Not feelings about your body. What is your body actually telling you? Where am I? Where am I in my cycle or season? What phase am I in? What does this phase typically ask of me? What does it offer me? What one thing needs to be shifted this week? Based on your body signals and my current phase, what is one adjustment would most support me? The sleep timing, movement type, task scheduling, social energy, nutrition focus, rest protection. What did my body do this week that I can acknowledge? One thing. This is not toxic positivity. This is rebuilding a relationship with the body you have been at war with. So right now, I want you to open your calendar right now and pick a day and a time in which you are going to do this. This is not a reminder. This is a recurring appointment with yourself and is the most important meeting of the week. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes to go in your calendar and put it in, and then come back in the chat and tell me what day and time did you choose for yourself. Ready? Here we go. I'll read you in the chat. Beautiful. Love it. One quick trick, add the PDF to your event in your calendar. That way you don't have to search for it when that time comes and you have it right then. It shouldn't take more than 10 minutes. It's really easy to do. 2 more minutes. Beautiful. I love the commitment. Yes. Very nice. All right, you guys. I love it. This is wonderful. Okay, so you guys are doing so well. Now we're going to ground all of this work you did today in a beautiful meditation. Want to join me? Ready for meditation? Get a thumbs up? Yes. Wonderful. All right. Okay. So I am going to close oh yeah, we're done. My camera, and then we're going to meditate together. Okay. Find a comfortable position. If you can, soften your gaze or close your eyes. Both are welcome. Take one breath, not a deep one, not a performative breath, just a real one. Let it move through you the way the breath was always meant to be, without effort, without performance. Feel the weight of your body wherever you are. The chair beneath you, the floor beneath that. Your health, you are here. I want to take you somewhere. Not far, just back. Back to a version of you that existed before some of what you have been carrying today got placed on your shoulders. There was a moment, maybe you remember clearly. Maybe it lives more as a feeling than a memory. A moment before you learned that your needs were an inconvenience. Before you understood that the world moved faster if you kept up, kept quiet, kept going. Before you learned to say, I'm fine. She might be younger. She might be last week and Tuesday morning before anyone needed anything from her. She might be sitting in a field somewhere, walking barefoot, laughing without watching herself laugh. Can you send her? Can you see her? She knew things that got buried. She knew when she was hungry, truly hungry, for food, for rest, for stillness, for something that had no name but was real. She knew her body needed to slow down. She hadn't yet learned to negotiate with it. She knew what mattered to her, not what she was supposed to care about, what she actually cared about. She wasn't ashamed of any of it. I want you to look at her, or feel her, or just allow her to exist somewhere close to you right now. In the room, in your chest, in the space behind your sternum. In the space where something still holds the memory of who you were before you learned to overwrite yourself. Notice something about her. She's not broken. She never was. She was never too much. She was never too little. She was never wrong for needing what she needed. She was just herself, without apology, without performance, without the weight of proving something. And guess what? She didn't go anywhere. She has been here, underneath every layer of fine, underneath every override, underneath every alarm you silenced because someone else needs felt more urgent than your own. She has been here, patiently, faithfully, waiting for you to remember her. I want you to do something now, in your mind or in your body, however feels real. I want you to reach towards her and tell her one thing, just one. Maybe is, I hear you now. Maybe is, I'm sorry it took so long. Maybe is simply, I'm coming back. Now feel something shift. Because the woman sitting in this chair right now, the one who spent the last hour learning her own biology, who completed the health audit with honesty, who named what she was been carrying, she's not the same woman who logged in. Something changed. Not because I hid information, but because you gave yourself permission to hear your own truth. And that is not a small thing. That is not something you can take back. So, as you begin to come back, take one more breath. And as you exhale, I want you to make a quiet decision. Not a resolution, not a goal, a decision about who you are. The woman you were before you learned to push through, she's not behind you. She is you. So bring her forward. And when you're ready, slowly and gently open your eyes. How are you feeling? Are you with me? Nice. I like that word. Mellow. Oh, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna ask you for a favor before we go. I would like you to complete this sentence in the chat if you don't mind. Before this workshop, I didn't know blank. Can you type it in the chat for me? Or you didn't know? You don't have to do the whole sentence, just the blank part. Before this workshop, I didn't know blank. Oh, that's really powerful. She said the impact of my health by not paying attention, nuances of how I felt. That's very powerful. Thank you for that. Did anyone else learn something new? That stress could touch so many areas of my body, mind, and life. Yes, it's not just a stress. The stress could affect me in so many ways. That you never can tell what's a stress versus another issue. So much is a stress. That's true. A lot of it comes from the root of stress, and then it becomes the other issues that we try to address. But if we don't address the stress, those issues never get really resolved, do they? Duranda, you have your hand up. Do you want to tell me something? The screenings by decade is so impactful and important. Well, thank you. I didn't realize how much I held onto nostalgia. It had become my self place. Take me back to who I was before stress. That's so touching. I love that. I'm glad I was able to take you back to her. That would be a good place to go back to. Amen. Yes. Well, I appreciate you sharing all this with me. It means the world. I am glad that I taught you something useful and something that hopefully will help you get back to the version of yourself that it's in a better place than when you are rooted with stress. So, I want to leave you with something that I carry. The woman who walked into this session today, she had been carrying something she might not have name for. Present tiredness, a quiet knowing that something needed to change, a body that had been asking to be heard. And I want to tell you something true. Your biology is not a liability. It's not a complication. It's not inconvenient fine print of being a woman. Your body has been trying to take care of you your entire life. And every symptom is information. every crash is communication, and every season, even the ones that feel hard, it's a gift. The invitation today is not to optimize yourself, it is to return to yourself. There was a you before you learned to push through, before you learned to say fine when you weren't, before you learned to schedule your needs last. She's still there, and she has been waiting. And today, you learned the language. So now, I would love for you to go talk to her. So, what comes to you, what leads with you, hopefully, is the materials that you have in your chat, the body check-in, and the protocol card. The screening quit reference, the health audit PDF, an invitation to take one action that you're committed to in the next 7 days, and all my gratitude for showing up, for being present and putting yourself first, at least for this hour, for being willing to connect with the version of you that will keep you healthy, to prioritize your health, to understand what your body needs from you. And I know that all of these things can seem a little overwhelming, but if we listen and we prioritize what's needed of us for us to be okay and be the version of ourselves that we want to be, then we are surely going to be successful. So I hope that this was helpful to you. I send you all my love and good vibes, and I hope to see you next month when we celebrate men's health, and hopefully we can teach them too how to take care of themselves and listen to themselves as well. With that, God bless you and have a wonderful weekend.